Welcome to the Indian Super League 2020-21 tactical video series. Today we will see how Kerala Blaster will set up under new head coach Kibu Vicuna for the exciting season ahead. In 6th edition of ISL, Kerala Blaster have finished 4 times in the bottom half of the table, and their fans believe that they deserve better from the club and the club management. A bit of luck last season would have seen Elko Satori continuing at the club, as he had automatic extension on his contract if the team would have finished in the top 5. Nevertheless, Elko's Blaster made much improvement as compared to the previous season under David James and Niloy Ganda. Talking about numbers, under Elko, the Blaster have scored 1.6 goals as compared to previously 0.9 per 90 minutes. They created 4.8 chances as compared to previously 4.5, and they also kept ball possession around 57% as compared to previously 49%. Nevertheless, this was not enough, and the club decided not to extend his contract and do a proper reboot at the club. Alongside Elko, the club decided to part ways with their star boy and captain Sandesh Chingan and other players who they think will not be part of their new plan. To take club in the new direction, club decided to bring sporting director Carlos Kinkas and I-League winning coach Kibu Vicuna to lead Kerala Blaster to the glory. Talking about Vicuna, he likes to play position football, and his system does not depend on a particular player. He likes his whole team to contribute in an attack and defend together as a unit. During the I-League winning campaign, Kibu's Mohun Bagan scored 2.3 goals per match. They created 8 chances per match and also kept an average possession of 51%. Moreover, Mohun Bagan's midfielder and wingers contributed with lots of goals and assists, which was not same under Elko, where team was over dependent on Ogbeche to score goals. Before moving on the tactical side, let's see the full roster of Kerala Blaster and talk about their key Indian and foreign players. Gary Hooper has scored over 200 goals across a professional career that span over a decade. He has scored in almost all the leagues and the cup competition of England and Scotland. Last season, he struggled in A-League, where he last played for Wellington Phoenix. If you go into details, you will find out Wellington Phoenix struggled as a team last season. They have not created enough chances for their forward player to score, including Gary Hooper. Hooper's biggest strength is awareness and positioning inside the box, as he scored majority of his goals inside the box. If I have to sum him up in a one line, I will say he is fox in the box. So now let's talk about his numbers in last 3 seasons, starting from 2017 and 18. Gary Hooper played 54 games. He has scored 21 goals and also provided 8 assists. Talking about his expected goals, it was 18 goals, which was 3 less than 21 goals which he scored, which tell us he is a brilliant finisher and does not need many chances to score his goals. He is a very neat and tidy player inside box with a passing accuracy of 83%, and he has also created 32 chances for his teammates. Talking about how he scored goals, if you move into details, he has taken 66 shots, out of which 38 were on target. So let's move on to the detail and see how he scored goals. He is right-footed player, so he scored most of the goals from right foot. So he has scored 15 goals from his right foot, 5 goals from head and 1 goal from his weaker foot, which is left. And also again detailing these goals, if you'll see, he has scored 12 goals from the positional attack, 4 goals from counter attack, 2 goals from corner and 1 goal from penalty. Also, he has different finishing type on his locker. He has scored 5 goals from top of the foot, 8 from inside the foot and 16 from one touch finish. And why I'm telling he's a brilliant finisher, majority of the goals he has scored has come under XG of 0.4%, less than 0.4%, which tell us that, you know, if Kerala Blaster will create say at least 2 or 3 chances for him per game, he will at least score 1 goal for them if he remains fit and healthy during the campaign. To sum up all these numbers, let's talk about how he performed. Average per 90 minutes, he scored 0.5 goals, 0.9 assists. Talking about shots, 1.5 shots, and on target 0.9 shots. Also about passes per 90 minutes, he completed around 23 passes and while attempting 30 passes per 90 minutes. Second player in the list is Vincent De Gomez, defensive midfielder from Spain. Gomez has been playing for various La Liga and lower division Spanish club in last few years. He has played against top side including Lionel Messi's Barcelona and Cristiano Ronaldo's Real Madrid. A traditional defensive midfielder, Gomez's best ability is to break opponent attack and start the counter-attack for his team by playing those simple passes to the offensive players. Gomez is only foreigner in Kerala Blasters squad who has 3-year contract with the club, indicating the level of trust they have in him. Starting from 2017-18 season, Gomez has played 92 games, and as he is defensive midfielder, he does not have many contribution to goal and assist, just provided 2 assists in that period. But talking about passes, he has completed 3200 passes with the accuracy of 88%, also done 263 ball recoveries, out of which 86 were in the opponent half. To sum up these numbers, in an average per 90 minutes, he basically completes 50 passes per game, also intercept 4.3 balls per match. So he is very neat and tidy player. While having the ball, he will recycle the position and bring the offensive player of Kerala in the play, and also provide that defensive stability when your fullbacks are attacking, like Nishow Kumar and Jessel will do for Kerala Blaster. Third player in the list, and to complete the spine, is Zimbabwean defender Costa, a club legend at Sparta Prague. He has been first choice centre back for them in the last 7 years, also playing in various continental matches in UEFA Champions League and UEFA Europa League, including their league games. He has made over 200 appearances for them, which has helped them to dominate their domestic league and do well in the Europe. Starting from 2017-18 season, played 77 games and scored 5 goals and provided 1 assist. Talking about other attributes as a defender, he is a very neat and tidy when on the ball. He's a ball playing defender. He has attempted 3614 passes with the accuracy of 87%. He has also made 535 ball recoveries, also attempted 830 challenges, out of which 63 were success, also made 134 tackles, out of which 68% were success, and also made 415 ball interception. And talking about only air challenges, he attempted 377 air challenges, out of which 62% were success. To sum up all these numbers into per 90 minute, he has attempted 49 passes, 7 ball recoveries, 1.2 tackles, 5.6 ball interception, 5.1 challenges. Talking about opponent XG OPP, when he is playing, it just 0.38, which tells us he's a very good defender. He's also left-footed defender, which give balance to any team, because throughout the world now, top teams, if you see in Europe, are always looking for a left-footed centre back, which Kerala has got in Costa. And seeing the Indian football level, I think he will do very well in ISL, and Kerala will want him to remain fit throughout the season. Top 3 Indian players. First player in the list, it says Samadh Sal Samar, the poster boy for Kerala Blaster. He has a long-term deal with the club which will run out in 2025. Deemed to be next big thing in Indian football, Sal has everything in locker to be a great playmaker and number 10 for the club and the country. However, he was not able to impress Elko last season and did not play much in his favorable number 10 position, and mostly played games from the bench. Kerala Blaster fans will hope this season his performance will improve and he will play an important role under Kibu Vicuna, as Kibu Vicuna main formation is 4-2-3-1, so there is a number 10 spot there for him. But when we'll move into the tactical side, you will see that it is how tough for him to get that number 10 slot in the Kibu Vicuna lineup. Second player in the list is Indian international Nishow Kumar. The 22-year-old UP-born fullback joined Kerala Blaster from Bengaluru FC in the summer window after putting very impressive performance for Bengaluru FC in 2019-20 season. Nishow Kumar played majority of his games for Bengaluru FC as a left back, but we have seen him past play as a right back for India and their junior teams, and that is where we will see him play for Kerala Blaster in upcoming season. Nishow's greatest assets are pace, strength, and his awareness and positioning while attacking and defending. Kibu Vicuna likes his fullback to contribute in the attack, and that is where we will see Nishow Kumar doing the same for Kerala Blaster in the upcoming season. Third player in the list is Chiksan Singh, India's first ever player to score goal in the FIFA Under-17 World Cup when he scored that thumping header against Colombia in the FIFA Under-17 World Cup 2017. Last season, Chiksan was one of the bright thing in the Kerala Blaster dismal season. He has performed very good as a defensive midfielder under Elko, and Kibu Vicuna also like to have an Indian midfielder in his setup. We have seen last season SK Sahil performing well under Kibu Vicuna, and Chiksan Singh will be hoping to play the same role for the new coach at the Kerala Blaster. Finally, let's move towards the tactical board and discuss how Kerala Blaster will line up under Kibu Vicuna in the upcoming season of Indian Super League. Last season, Kibu Vicuna's primary formation with Mohan Bagan was 4-2-3-1, and in the some occasion he also used 4-4-2. If you see the roster of Kerala Blaster, he has made that squad according to these two formation only, and I also personally think that he will play 4-2-3-1. There is some controversy here. I think some might not agree with me, but hear me out why I have picked this playing 11 and this style for Kerala Blaster for the upcoming season. On the goalkeeping department, Kerala Blaster have three good goalkeepers in the form of Bilal, Albino Gomes and Gill, and keeping the Albino Gomes history of injury in last two seasons, where he spent majority of time as on the injury table, I feel Bilal Khan will be the goalkeeper starting the match for Kerala Blaster, with Gill providing him the competition. And talking about defenders, I think these four guys pick themselves on their ability. We will see Costa as a LCB, Kone as a RCB, Nishow Kumar starting as a right back, and Jessel starting as a left back. I think there is no if and but here. I think these are four best defenders they have. The lack of depth is a worry on the centre back department. If you talk about, I think Nishow Kumar can also play there if required. In the midfield, yes, there is some controversy here, but I have picked double pivot system. Gomez will be that first midfielder in the double pivot system, with Chiksan Singh playing as a second midfielder in the pivot system. We have seen last season SK Sahil doing very well for Mohan Bagan under Kibu Vicuna. I think Ikson can play the same role of SK Sahil. He might not be as a neat and tidy as SK Sahil, but I think he will develop as a player if Kibu Vicuna give him the same responsibility. And on the wing, I think it's also very natural. Nogdamba Norem, who is my uncapped player to watch for Kerala Blaster for this upcoming season, did very well with the Mohan Bagan on loan from Kerala Blaster under Kibu Vicuna last season. He will have that left wing spot. Rahul KP, local lad, I think he will start as a right winger, and we have already seen lots of training footage, him doing well, scoring goals. And on the number 10, I have picked Vincent Pereira. He is fantastic player. I think one of the guys who will create lots of chances for Gary Hooper, who is starting as a sole number 9. And some people will say, why Sahel not in this setup? I think Sahel will play lots of game, and as 5 substitution will be allowed in ISL, he might come from the bench. Why I have picked Vincent Pereira as a number 10, not as a number 8 instead of Ikson? Because if you see last two seasons, Sahel is a very good player. He has all the abilities, but talking about his numbers, the numbers are not good enough to start, as a number 10, as a main number 10 for a team like Kerala Blaster who wants to do well. I think I will keep him around in the squad, but I will have Vincent Pereira as my primary number 10. If you're talking about his number, he has been involved over 100 goals throughout his career. So he is the player who will create, who will also score the goal. And because Gary Hooper is not a kind of that striker who can create for himself, he needs chances to score goal. He is basically fox in the box. So Kerala Blaster need players who can bring that ball to the box and pass it to Gary Hooper, so that he can basically score those goals. And of course, Gary Hooper starts as a sole number 9. Now let's see how Kerala Blaster will defend and attack when they have ball, how they attack when they have a ball, and how they will defend when they don't have the ball. So here you can see Costa has the ball, and Costa is a very neat and tidy player when he has the ball. He's a ball playing defender. He can bring the ball. He can also pass over the line to somebody like Nogdamba Norem or Rahul KP using his left foot. But in this case, Costa is bringing the ball. You will see the movement which is happening around him. We will see Jessel and Nishow Kumar bombing forward on the wings, providing that width. And as we see Nogdamba Norim, he likes to operate bit inside, not on the he don't like to hang on the line. He wants to come inside, get the ball in his feet, use his dribbling ability to beat his man, and then go into the box and provide some assist or score the goals. That's what Kerala Blaster will hoping from both the wingers in the Rahul KP and the Nogdamba Norim. Here we'll see the movement around him. Vincent Gomez will stay in and around that, those defender to get the ball. Chiksan Singh will go box to box, I think, and he has also very good heading ability, which already seen in the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. Here, in case you see how their setup will be, we will see Rahul KP moving into the box. We already seen him scoring that goal in the training, and I think Nogdamba Norim will be wait around the box, not inside, just around, with ISL and Nishow Kumar using that empty spaces in the wing to attack those spaces, provide opportunities to their players who are on the ball to put them through, and also stretch the opponent defense. Here you will see Costa passing to Gomez, and once Gomez has the ball, I think his role is also to quickly pass it to somebody like Pereira, who is the main focus point on this formation, because when you play 4-2-3-1, number 10 is your main player, and I think you also keep a eye on the Pereira movement during this build up. Gomez, I think his main role is to get the ball from the center back, recycle it quickly to Ikson or Pereira. In this case, he's passing to Pereira, and when Pereira has the ball, we will see lots of movement ahead of him. He has the ability to pick those passes between the lines, over the top, or the through ball, where he can always pick somebody like Nogdamba Norim or Rahul KP inside the box, and can also use Gary Hopper, who can hold the ball and bring these both pacey wingers in the play. In this case, you can see Chiksan Singh joining the attack, because as we talked earlier, that he has a very good aerial ability which can be used by both the fullback when crossing. And in this case, Pereira is passing ball to Nishow Kumar, and when this you can see the shape right now. When Nishow has the ball, they have somebody like Nogdamba Norim in and around the box, Rahul KP, Gary Hooper in the box, Chiksan Singh also coming late in the box, who can provide a good option while these fullbacks like ISL or Nishow Kumar has the ball. And Nishow Kumar has a very good crossing ability, and then you have targets in the box in the form of Gary Hooper, Ikson, or something like Nogdamba or Rahul KP to get the ball. This is just one play, and I think we will see this kind of setup for the Kerala Blaster, where Pereira picking up those ball, between the lines, maybe finding somebody like Nogdamba Norim, Rahul KP. And if you see the shape now, even when Kerala is attacking, they has their main foreigners in the back. Somebody like Costa, Kone, and Gomez will provide that stability, will allow attacking players, fullbacks, to go ahead and join the attack, and also keep that defensive shape. If other team hits them in the counter attack, they all three of them has a good tackling ability. They can intercept and they can stop the counter attack by using tactical fouls. And this is how I think they will basically have the attacking plays. Of course, this is just one instance, but we will see they're using ISL and Nishow Kumar to get some spaces and get the Rahul KP and Nogdamba also in play between the line. Also, where Rahul KP and Nogdamba Norim will be better used when they are defending, and then using Gary Hooper as a target man, because Gary Hooper does not have same pace as these two lads. They are basically, Nogdamba Norim is fantastic with the ball, but he's also very pacey. Rahul KP also very, very good pace. Now let's see that how they will do when defending, so how they can use Rahul KP and Nogdamba Norim while they're defending, and they have somebody like Samadh Singh on the bench, who is also pacey winger, can play on both the wings. So they have very good wingers to use, this 4-2-3-1 formation, because in the 4-2-3-1 formation, you need goal scoring inside forward or the wingers. Now, talking about how they will do when they don't have the ball, what kind of movement their player need to make so that they retain that shape, also close down the gaps, but has the ability to counter attack. In this case, Gary Hooper, holding ability as a target man is very important. I think he has to bring other into play. We have seen in various football matches, if your number 9 cannot hold the ball, then you're going to struggle if you are defending, because you need your number 9 to hold the ball, give opportunities to your players to join, get nearby, and you join the attack. So let's see how Hooper and Co will defend when they don't have the ball. You can see on the on your screens, when they don't have the ball, the whole team will drop down, of course, but you will see Costa covering for Jessel. Defensive abilities are not as good as his offensive abilities, so you will see Costa sometime getting nearby Jessel and helping him, and that time Vincent Gomez can come in the defensive line and cover for him, and they might make sometime back 5 when Gomez basically joins the defensive lines with alongside Costa and Cone. And of course Chiksan Singh will cover up the spaces, and also Nogdamba and Rahul KP also cover up both the fullbacks when they are getting stretched, or when they are getting 2 versus 1 situation, when an opponent wing back or fullback joining the attack alongside their winger. In this case, now you see Hooper also will take a position where he can use his body to bring other play, and when they don't have the ball, there will be spaces for the wingers and both the fullbacks to attack when they win that ball back. In this case, Gomez has the ball. Now you will see the movement, how quickly these players will hope to change that movement from from the defensive unit to the attacking unit. Gomez will try to find Hooper, and while doing this, Hooper will use his holding ability, and during that period you will see Nogdamba Norem and Rahul KP making the diagonal run beyond him, so that Hooper can hold the ball, bring both the attacking wingers in the play, and both the fullback will also join the attack. And now with Hooper having the ball, now he has so many options. You will see when he has the ball, he can always find out the next player alongside, like Chiksan or maybe Pereira. But in this case, Hooper has the ability, option to find Nishow Kumar or Pereira or Rahul KP, or even somebody like Nogdamba Norim on the over the top ball, and with both the fullback also making themselves available. I think this shape will give Kerala Blasters a very good opportunity to counter attack when they are defending. They are, because the pace and the abilities of Rahul KP and Nogdamba Norim, also the pace and the abilities of Nishow Kumar and Jessel as a fullback is very important. And then you can also bring some like Pereira in play to find these players when they are running beyond the defense line. So this is one setup. I have shown you basically one example how they can defend, how they can attack, but this will be the primary way to attack and defend when they have this 4-2-3-1 formation, using Gomez as a recycler who will recycle the ball quickly, find somebody like Pereira or Ikson or maybe Hooper over the top, and then bring somebody like Rahul KP and Nogdamba Norim on the play, and also use the fullback to get those width in the wings from Jessel and Nishow Kumar. Both are very good crosser of the ball. Both will provide lots of assist to Gary Hooper if Gary Hooper finds his shooting boots on. Now let's talk about another formation which they might use and which Kibu Vicuna has used last season in between, which is 4-4-2. So I think the kind of player they have another center forward in the form of Jordan Murray, who is an Asian player also, wearing the number 9 jersey. I think they will use this formation in some games against some particular teams. So defense again pick themselves by their own, some like Kone, Costa, Jessel, Nishow Kumar. I think these 4 will be forming that defense line in any formation. You might see sometime Lal Thwara playing as a right back or left back when needed again, but as I said earlier, centre back, they don't have much depth there. They have Abdul Haku as a third choice centre back, but not much depth. If a couple of injuries, they might struggle. So they need to keep their important players injury free throughout the season. So in this case, for 4-2, very simple setup. You can have Gomez, you can have Chiksan Singh in the middle of the midfield, and then you have somebody like Nogdamba Noren or Satyasingh Singh. You can also use him on the left side, and on the right side you have Rahul KP. Then there's a couple of more options in the midfield which they have signed, but these are young players, so I don't know how many of them are ready to start. Chiksan at least have experience of playing one complete season with Kerala Blasters in ISL, so he is young, but he is, mature in his play. He knows how to play quickly, make the simple passes. And Jordan Murray replaces Pereira, who was playing as number 10 in the last formation. This 4-4-2, typical 4-4-2, flat 4-4-2, not diamond here. And I think talking about the setup here, what they will do in this 4-4-2 is that, again, get those 2 versus 1 situation, either on the wing, either on the attack, either on the midfield, get those pairing. And if you see now on your screen, Jessel and Nogdam Anorim and Rahul KP and Nishow Kumar are attacking in a pair. So there will be situation in 4-4-2 because you have 2 center forward, so both the center backs will be occupied, so you will have lots of opportunities to basically attack the opponent full back with the 2 players, and then create those 2 versus 1 situation in the wings, and then get your wingers or the full back on the byline and got those cut back to your both the center forward for scoring opportunities. So, and then you will find both Ikson and Vincent De Gomez also sitting in the midfield, because they also have to cover for both the fullback when they join attack sometime if there is a counter attack. And then of course they can use long ball to find somebody like Gary Hooper or Jordan Murray. Both are very good with the back with the back in the goal. They can hold the ball. So this is the setup they will use, and we will see lots of cutback in both the formation. They will use their fullback like Jessel, like Nishow, like Lalal Kwara to get on the byline and find some like Gary Hooper, Pereira or Jordan Murray, even some like Nogdamba or Rahul KP from both the wings. So I think they have very good balance. If you talk about first 11, I am a bit worried about their depth. So in some instances, so like centre back, centre forward, they don't have a proper Indian striker. They have young player, but these are young player. You don't hope that every young player will come and win games for you. They will play their role, but you have to give them chance to develop. So this is how mostly they will play in 4-4-2. It's a very similar setup, but have a 2 center forward up front as compared to 1 in the previous case, and also bringing the fullback into the play. So that's how I think they will basically attack and defend using this 4-2-3-1 or 4-4-2 formation. Now talking about strength and weaknesses of the Kerala Blaster, I have touch upon the couple of issues. Strength, of course, their attacking lineup is very good, especially the wingers. I really like somebody like Rahul KP and Nogdamba Norim on the wing. Both the young Indian winger, very talented, knows how to beat defender, can score goals, can create chances for their player, and of course somebody like Jordan Murray and Gary Hooper. They have a good 2 center forward, but there were enough space in that squad to fill. So talking about their strength, I think their strong attacking lineup, experienced defensive department, and the wing backs Jessel and Nishow are also very good, or you can say full back, not wing back, and they have basically good depth in the midfield also. Somebody like Sahel will also play a very important role. As I told you, there is no clear guidelines till now, but there are chances there will be 5 substitutions. So Sahel will also play a very important role. He can also replace Chiksan Singh. I have not seen Sahel playing in double pivot. I think he played once for India, but with Pereira can also replace Chiksan Singh, and then Sahel can come as a number 10. But that also means you are limiting the Pereira playmaking ability. But in some cases, we will see this happening, because you will not see all the players same playing 11 every match. You will see lots of rotation. So I think that's their strength. Talking about weakness, I think fitness issues. Out of their all the foreigners, 3 has the injury history, and I think they need to manage them well. That's why rotation is very important. They have to rotate when they can, also use their substitution accordingly, so that this player does not get the fatigue and injuries, and which means they need to keep the spine of the team, center forward, center midfielder, center backs together, fit and healthy, if they need to get good result and qualify for the semi-final this time. Also they will hope that the young players they have taken punt on the midfield in the attack, somebody like Northeast United center midfielder which has come in will provide them enough options when required, and I think that's how they will set up, and we will see. My prediction for them, I think they will fight for playoff. With Kibu history with Mohan Bagan, I think they will make it playoff this time. I hope you guys like this video. Please let me know your feedback, what we can add in the future tactical videos, and what kind of videos you want to us to make. If you like this video, please hit that like button. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video.